we discussed last time. Oh shit! Like we discussed last time, Katie's really the only one with kids, so she the only one that can really discuss the topic in depth. Cause the fuck I'ma say, can't really add shit on to that. Never had a kid, so don't really know what the fuck to do. So I guess Kate's the only one that can discuss it.
I just think it depends
it works,
on
shit. It works if it don't. It don't. I don't really. Yeah, I know. I really disagree with.
I don't know. I felt like it was. If I did let him cry, I felt like a bad parent, and then if I didn't let him cry, I felt like a bad parent. You always feel guilty, like, oh, go in there and calm him down, or if you don't go in there and you let him cry it out, you feel like a bad parent. But I don't know, it didn't work for me. I felt cutting out naps helped them sleep through the night.
Definitely.
All right, I think we're ready to move on to question 2. Thoughts on free range and helicopter parenting?
This article, I don't know, this article wouldn't pull up on my computer for some reason, but did anyone read it?
I mean, I know what helicopter parenting is, but
or free range.
Free range.
I know what those are.
I mean, just
free range is
between two.
The free range is what? It's just someone who lets their kid do anything, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I figured that. Yeah. I do. Get in the bath. Free range. Hold on one.
I'd say it's case by case. I mean, it just depends per parent. I mean, and how the kids are too, and how they react. Because some kids will want to defy the helicopter parenting, and some won't. Some will obey them, and vice versa. Kids can turn out real well from free range.
They do. They can turn out. They don't have any issues. It depends on the age, I think, but you automatically know when your child is doing something they're not supposed to because the whole house goes quiet, and quiet is never a good thing. But when they're little and they're crawling around, you're always following them so they don't hurt themselves. And then you give them more independence as they get older. So like more time goes by that's quiet. I wouldn't know what kind of parent I am. I don't think I'm a helicopter parent, and I'm definitely not a free range parent. I have them on schedules and routines, and it works.
It changed from your first to your second, like how much you were.
Yeah.
Or.
Well, my first, like I worried about everything, and then yes, my second one, I hate to admit it, it was more relaxed, where I wasn't worried about everything. I was guilty leaving her by herself because her sister was always around. So it changed a little bit.
Going to the next, Eddie?
Oh, shit. I guess so. This thoughts on positives and negatives of spanking. Any thoughts? Yeah. Y'all kind of quiet for this one.
I don't believe in spanking. I don't think it works.
My parents used to spank me. That shit never worked. So
it doesn't. I don't think it works.
It doesn't work. I mean, I'm living proof of that. You can trust me. That shit does not work at all. At all.
Yeah, I think I don't know, because little kids, they get so upset that even if you spank them, they're not understanding what they did wrong until you calm them down.
Yeah.
So I found it never worked. But there was a time where my oldest daughter bit my youngest daughter on the back.
Yeah.
And it bled. So, I mean, I hate to say this on a recording, but I bit my oldest daughter back and she never bit her again.
Yeah.
I bit her in the same spot and she cried and then she never bit her again.
Yeah,
But
spanking,
I mean,
it absolutely. Well, shit, it didn't work for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I know shit, it made me a worse ass time.
I used to get hit with a wooden spoon and it never worked.
Shit, I got hit with a belt and it never took. It never clicked.
Yep.
It never clicked. I'm still bad. Like that shit ain't really do nothing to affect me.
Yeah.
It just made me
It's
learn
kind
how
of
to plot out shit better, so I didn't get caught next time. Real.
Yeah, it's kind of a temporary fix to a permanent problem.
It ain't even really a fix because it's just gonna piss you off. You're gonna be hurt, and then you gonna do the bad shit the next day. That's how I was. I got beat. I would be hurt for a day, take a shower, get all that pain off, come back and do the same shit I did to get beat. Wouldn't get caught next time though. Exactly like that. It don't work. It don't work. That's why I can't beat my kids because I know shit. My dad beat me. Look how I turned out. My kid gonna eat that shit and be bad as hell. I ain't gonna be able to do nothing to stop it.
Yeah, I don't think it works at all.
What's the fourth one say, Eddie?
Hold on. I'm folding my socks because I know I'm never gonna want to do this shit again. Kindergarten. When should it start? Should there be a federal mandated curriculum for kindergarten?
It's kind of like Head Start too.
What?
You said what?
Is this kind of like Head Start stuff too? Like three, like like preschool.
I don't know.
Like what age?
That's a very weird question because I don't even know what age kindergartens are.
5. Yeah.
Preschool's 4,
I
and then they have like
good.
Head Starts.
Yeah, I feel like 5 years old is good. I don't fucking know. That's a weird question. I feel like 5. Kindergarten should start at 5 years old. Y'all agree with that? I don't find no problem with it.
What do you think, Amber?
The article that we read had a bunch of stuff on if the child started kindergarten a year later, so I guess it's 6. And there were like a lot of benefits, and they were calmer and they paid more attention and they did better on reading tests in 10th grade. So I don't know if starting at 6 would be a better idea. I don't know how much of it makes.
I've heard that the Head Starts hurt development more than help. It's kind of like a daycare, I guess, too. Just the earlier people can pawn off their kids.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's a weird question. I don't know how I feel about that.
Public schools, at least, are free daycare.
Because I know I was probably in kindergarten at a young age. Shit. And then, like, 5th grade, I had the 10th grade reading level, so I don't really know if kindergartens are actually bad, but that's I don't know. That's weird. That's very weird. I feel like kindergarten should start whenever the fuck the parent wants to put the kid in one. That's very weird. I never had somebody ask me that question. But yeah, I think that's good. I think kindergartens are good at 5. Now, should there be a federal mandated curriculum for kindergartners?
That's like specifying what they should learn.
Yeah.
I think there should be.
Yeah.
Is there not?
They're 6 years old and they're capable of it.
No, there's not. And it depends on where you live too. I was surprised by this because when my daughter went into kindergarten last year, it was only half of a day, which really wasn't half of the day. It was only 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but other places, they do full day.
Yeah.
So she only went from 9 o'clock until 11:30. And then
that's the time.
Yes. But I mean, each state is different, I think, with what they have to learn. Right now, my youngest, she's in kindergarten, and they have to do, I think there's 4 assessments a year to see how many numbers and letters they can identify in a minute. And that's pretty much it for when it comes to the curriculum. Those tests, identifying uppercase, lowercase numbers or letters and numbers.
Yeah, that seems alright. Shit, I didn't know that. I thought, because I went to public school, so I felt like kindergarten they teach everything the same, but I didn't know.
I think it just depends on the state you live in. So, and the area. Because if you live in a wealthier area, the schooling is better than a poorer area.
That's interesting. What's the next question? Hold on. Thoughts on technology and its effects on development? Amber, you've been kind of quiet today. I ain't been calling on you as much. You gotta change that.
Well, in the article that talked about like 2-year-olds being on iPads and things for like 2.5 hours a day, when they like followed up with those children later, they had like poor communication skills and problem solving. And all of these bad things happened, but then they also made sure to mention that correlation does not equal causation. So we don't know that it was the technology that caused any of that.
Kate, you have kids. What you feel?
I think it can get addicting and it can be bad. They stay inside, but it also just depends. It just depends on. Well, they say that something I read that they have a lower attention span if they're on their screen, if they have too much screen time, which didn't really make sense to me because they can sit there and play a Lego building game for if I let them all day.
Yeah.
But it depends on it also depends on the parent whether or not what kind of parent they are. Because you could put your kid in front of a tablet all day and do whatever you have to do, but I haven't seen a change. I mean, I don't see any significant issues with my children with their tablets. But as they get older, they want to be on them more. Yeah. And I usually only allow them to be on their tablets in the morning, like when they first wake up, for probably about a half an hour. Because with COVID, I decided to not homeschool them, but do the virtual learning. So they sit in front of a computer a lot of the day.
Yeah.
So, and I try to get them outside, but there's just some days where if it's raining and they just want to play on their tablet. I mean, I don't know. I don't really see the big deal.
Okay.
I guess it also depends what the child's like. If that's all they want to do and other problems come into play, like becoming overweight because they're not exercising.
Yeah.
What's the next question? Amber, you got any thoughts on that before I move on?
I think it's just like everything else. It can be good in moderation, but you don't want to get too much of it.
I agree with that.
I think so too.
Shit. What's next?
Anything else interesting this week from the curriculum or in your daily lives?
Amber, Kate, Kramer.
Just call me Crate.
I said Kate.
Oh, I thought you said Crate. Not really. I mean, this week no.
No.
I
Hey, do you
did.
have
I
anything?
thought the whole night terrors thing. Was
Oh, yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
for kids. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I know it was only like a mention in an article, but because my youngest daughter, she sometimes gets night terrors.
Amber,
What causes it?
anything
But
you found interesting?
What?
Did you say what the causes were?
What causes them?
Yeah.
I don't know. I went my whole life without getting them, except for about 2 years ago, and I will never forget the night terror that I had. And then I came back to where I am now, and I was sleeping one night. I had it again, and then I woke up, and 30 seconds later, my youngest was screaming. It's like it jumped from me to her,
Yeah.
and she had the same one, which is creepy, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no possible way it could be linked.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Wow.
It still happens now. It happens occasionally. She'll wake up screaming and you can't calm her down.
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's scary.
But
Amber,
other than that, no.
Amber, anything you found?
I also actually thought the night terrors were interesting because my brother gets those probably twice a year. So it's not really common, but it's scary because we've never seen it in anyone else in the family. It just showed up one day.
That's how mine were too. I mean, I was awake for probably about 56 hours, and they just happened. It's scary. It was like sleep paralysis on top of a night terror where I couldn't move, and it got to the point where I woke up with bruises, and I didn't know how they got it. They look like handprints. I know it's crazy. I would wake up with these huge bruises, and right after they would occur.
Kramer?
I know. I knew I see your face, but
Anything you found interesting this week, Kramer?
No, just their stories and experiences. I have luckily not had that.
Yeah, I
Night
never
terror?
had.
Night sweats and like falling dreams, but not like that. Like out of control, like feeling, but not, or the sleep paralysis where you wake up and can't move, but not had anything screaming.
I never had sleep paralysis.
Yeah, it's scary.
I don't want that.
Never had a night terror. Never had sleep paralysis. Nightmares, yeah, but
Yeah.
not that serious. So I think that about wraps it up for today's discussion. Anything anybody would like to add?
I think we're good.